How y'all doing? My name is Fred Lawson, and this is the fabulous Nikki Lewelling.
What's good?
Today I'm going to be doing an interview on Ronald Reagan's interpretation of freedom. I'm going to ask Nikki a few questions, how she feel on that topic, and we're going to elaborate. So, in my paper on the third page, I quoted Reagan from one of Reagan's speeches. He said, "The glory of this land has been its capacity for transcending the moral evils of our past." And then it said, "There is no room for racism, anti-Semitism, or other forms of ethnic and racial hatred in this country." So that leads me to my question. I'm gonna ask Nikki, in your opinion, why are equal rights important for everyone, and do you feel that this country has given all people equal rights, and why?
I feel that equal rights are important for everyone because in order to live as a whole human being, we should have equal rights. I think that it's key for survival. It's key to for all humans should have equal rights. Do I believe that we getting equal rights in this country? No, not by a long shot. Not the way we're getting shot down in the streets. Not poverty. Not housing. How black people are getting discriminated with housing. Not gentrification. Any of that.
That's a good question. Good answer. So Nikki, what is your faith?
I'm a Christian.
Christian. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That leads me to my next question. Do you think that people of other religions are accepted in America?
I would say yes and no, and I guess I don't know if that's a yes and no, really answer, but I think that in black communities, people of other religions are, they're not really accepted, but no one just outright points at them and that's a Muslim, and, we treat them different than we would treat a Christian. I don't think that America in general is just knows enough about Islam or any other types of religions to be that accepting of other religions. And then it was while Trump was running, it was a woman that got her hijab set on fire, So I think Muslims have been labeled as terrorists in this country. So in that aspect, I would say no.
No. Okay, that's a good answer. All right, do you think that Christianity can be tied in any way to white colonialism?
Yes. During America's history, during white people's really history, how they went into other countries and colonialized other countries and took over other countries. Right. They've used Christianity as a way to validate, what their devilishment, we can destroy these people. We can treat them bad because they're Native Americans. They don't believe in Jesus Christ. We can do the Indians like this because they don't hold the same belief that we hold. So I think white colonialism, and that's a really good question. Thank you. I think white colonialism is tied to Christianity.
Okay. All right. Now, Nikki, what do you think is Reagan's idea of freedom? And the second part of the question is what is freedom to you?
Okay. Reagan's idea of freedom, I know that he said he was against racism and all of this, but this is the same man that made crack cocaine. You give us more severe punishment for crack cocaine than actual cocaine itself. And that's used to target the black community. He was a man that was against civil rights for African Americans. He didn't want to keep the Voting Rights Act. It was he didn't want to pass the Voting Rights Act. So he was against the Voting Rights Act. So he says that this country must move forward and forget its sins and be anti-hatred and all of that. He says it in word, but in deed, he's in my opinion, he's racist. What was the second part of the question? Oh, my idea of freedom.
Right, it's freedom to you.
My idea of freedom, I think, is like justice, equality for all people, black people, no matter what race, religion, whatever sexual preference. I think everybody deserves the right to live as a decent human being. If I'm not harming anybody, nobody is hurting you or me, why do I have to go around and worry about you just because, you know, you're white, I'm black, you know what I'm saying? All of this is foolishness. You know,
Right.
This person is Mexican, this person gay. It does not matter, you know, like I said before, everybody deserves to have a quality lifestyle. You know what I mean? As long as they not around here hurting people, everybody deserves fair opportunity.
I understand. That's actually a good point. You made a good point. Okay, well, we talking about Ronald Reagan, you know, as one of the presidents of, you know, United States of America. He actually went a long way with, you know, shaping America. I think after what you were saying, the crack era in the 80s when the crack era hit, crack cocaine, and it was a different era. It was a different era for him to, you know, balance out. So it kind of left him in a tough, I think, you know, in a situation, you know, to only involve problems he can deal with, and some of the problems he probably didn't have, you know, anything to deal with. But that actually leads me to my next question. Just in general, are there any, or were there any significant moments in the U.S. history that you can recall experience while you were currently going to TSU?
Yeah, Trump's presidency.
Man, hey. And that was what, a couple weeks? No, that was what, yeah, about a couple weeks now. Yeah, ago. So we've been definitely coming up, and I've been taking the presidency way different. It's more serious, you know, once you get older and see what what really goes on and who actually has the power to change these laws and give the president the opportunity to make change in America. I got my other question. Who would you identify as important teachers, role models, or significant figures you encountered?
Important figures, role models. I think one of the role models I look up to right now is Dr. Kamal. He's a
Dr. Kamal, yeah.
He's a staff member in the library, and he also teaches the Hip Hop Society's Black History class. And I mean, he teaches me a lot about history. We sit in class, and he goes over it. It's a free class. It's not like a mandated class.
Right.
So he's an important figure. I don't really have a lot of people I look up to because you know, on TV and all that, because I think that a lot of people they choose our leaders for us. So I think that, like, you know, people on the grassroots level is people we should look up to. So I look up to Black business owners, people that practice cooperative economics, and even local activists.
Okay. Well, with that being said, with local activists, Black colleges, and your role models and what you look up to, you know, different people have, you know, different perspectives and different diversity, different backgrounds. So that's just, you know, since we at a historical Black college, you know, that's your preference. You learn about, you know, historical African Americans and what they did in America. But what kind of interactions did you have with people not of your racial background? I know that kind of is a broad question, but someone that's not similar to the environment you similar to, and just to interact with somebody of a different background.
For me, so far, it's been peaceful. I mean, you know, I talk to Asians on campus. I talk to, you know, the whites here. You know, I haven't felt any hostility coming from them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I don't run out the way to be in their face every day, you know. But at the end of the day, I think that, you know, I see them, I speak, you know what I mean? So I have a lot of friends, you know what I mean? And race doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. Well, okay. That's good. That's a good point. I like that answer. You know, we got kind of getting close to, you know, the end. So I just want to close out, you know, with an open mind of this question, this next question. What advice would you give young people today? And did your parents discuss race, or have your parents ever discussed race or racism with you?
Okay.
And you can do that one first, or you know,
Okay.
and if you need me to, you know.
Advice I would give young people today is to follow their own mind, is to study history, Black history, to know their own history for themselves. I would say too, you know, they have to know exactly their future. You know, don't make dumbass mistakes. Oh, can I curse in this interview? My apologies. My apologies to your professor. But okay, yeah, know their history and avoid hanging around stupid people that make stupid decisions, because they'll end up finding themselves in a place which I have been, which they had to kind of start back over and retrack and regroup again. So I think the importance of knowing our history will stop them from a lot of dumb mistakes. My parents, we discussed racism. Me and my mom, we always discuss race. My whole family, me, my mom, my brother, my sister, we sit around and we talk about race. And I think it became even more prominent when Trump's presidency happened. I think people were actually ready to engage in that discussion. But we've always talked about race even before, you know, Trump was elected, because racism has always been here. It never ended.
Well, yeah, I actually like that. I actually love that about you and your precipitation, you know, preference on race, racism, and other topics. So, how did that prepare you for where you are now? Like, you know, learning about the race, learning about, you know, different religions, different people background. So, the presidency, you know, Ronald Reagan and everything. How did it prepare you for where you are now?
Well, with studying history, I took a Black history class here, Intro to Black History, and it really opened up my eyes. I always knew it was something wrong. I didn't know exactly what was wrong. But once I took that Black history class, I was able to use that and use what I've learned in history and to make it affect my art. And I just wrote a play called The Cracker and the Coon, and I talk about how the coon has been throughout history. How it was always the slave that went and told about slave rebellions and all of this. But then the play didn't also only deal with the coon. It also dealt with white racism. You know how white racism has always been here. We went from slavery to convict leasing, a mass incarceration. I also talked about sharecropping. So I think it's affected my art, you know, and just not to keep going on and on, but it's affected my art. I write newspapers now. I just pass them out and sell them to students and stuff like that, just so they can wake up as well. And it's a way for me to deal with what I see, you know, not to just harbor it or do something foolish because I'm that upset, but I can write a play about it. I can, you know, write a newspaper about it, you know. So
that's what's up. Well, we just kept it short and brief for you guys today. With Ronalds Reagan Interpretation to Freedom. Again, my name is Fred Lawson, and this is Nikki Lewelling. Texas Southern University's Tigers signing out.